But the thing I love about Ben is he's an incredible musician. He just got a Guild acoustic guitar, and it's beautiful. But on the other side of this conversation is his Seagull. I wanted him just to play a little bit of each so you can hear the difference. But also, we talked about some really cool opportunities, that the difference of sounds of having two acoustic guitars that are similar but have a different depth. They're both amazing instruments. He's just out there getting his acoustic guitars right now. We'll have this conversation. Oh, that hurts my back. That little reach right there is killing me.
All right.
Ben, what did you do?
So I bought another guitar.
Yes.
I couldn't resist. But this has been Old Faithful for most of our sessions this year, and with good reason. It's a Seagull Cedar series, and I don't think they make this series anymore. So it's cedar back and sides and solid top. I believe it's spruce, or no, I believe it's mahogany, sorry. So cedar back and sides, mahogany top, darker profile. Still has a lot of body.
Never resist. When you get up to that chord,
Yeah.
Or the
Right.
Oh, I can't resist.
So we've tracked with this on many songs, not just for my project, but on some others as well, and it's been wonderful. And then I picked up this other pretty lady from the guitar department up in Kenmore. Shout out to Ed and the crew up there. But it's a different setup here, slightly wider body, full-on dreadnought, solid spruce top, and laminate sides, but mahogany back. And it does its own thing. So I'll play this and we can talk about the difference in profile.
Here's the crazy thing. Last time when we had the real conversation, this is all contrived because it's our second time through. But
we mean what we say, though.
Yes,
so.
It's true. He was sitting over there facing me, so I didn't have the sound hole right in my ear.
Yeah.
And I'm getting a whole different sound profile from over here.
So what that tells us is
how we mic
placement. So that's right. Another part of the conversation. Because a lot of stuff you hear from the stage is going direct, and I do like that the battery access on this particular series is easier. The input is right there. That Seagull, you have to kind of undo 4 screws and pull out the faceplate, but then go in through the sound hole, pull that out to change the battery. So it's older model, but it's worth it because of the sound. But they've made, thankfully Guild has made that easier. And obviously it's a newer series of guitar. But again,
this is new, right?
Yeah, this is, I bought it brand new. It's not used. It's not.
So is it like, was it built this year? What's the date saying?
It doesn't give us a date. It's the D240E model. So you can look that up online. And it's got more, for my ears, when we're doing stuff with Yankee Bravo, that's more on the roots rock side or the darker side of Americana, I would go for the Seagull. But when we're playing something a little bit more jangly and almost with a country undertone, like our song "Gone, Gone, Gone," it starts 1, 2. It just sings out. It rings out. Yeah,
that word jangly.
Yeah,
just came out of my mouth
right.
as soon as I heard this.
Right.
And you talk a little bit about the strings too, because that's one of the first things you said about.
Right. So the disclaimer on this is these are brand new strings from SIT. They're the bronze, and they don't have any coating. The strings on the Seagull are elixirs, and they're older. They do have the coating on them. And for example, they both sound nice, but tracking those stereo, putting Guild on the left, Seagull on the right, that would be a whole nice experience, because they do different things, but they do complementary things.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, the thing that I threw out, because I'm an oddball with this stuff, but instead of doing like production things to make the chorus bigger,
right?
Like I was thinking the darker sound, the Seagull on like the verse,
right?
And then when you want the chorus to get a little bit bigger, either you're doubling or you just jump to the Guild that's a lot brighter and janglier.
Yeah, and I would janglier. I think you just made a word. If this is our verse guitar, by the time we get to the chorus, you could keep that as your.
Because there's still some beautiful, deep, warm lows in there.
So you don't want to lose that, but then maybe off on the right side, you add, right? And it pulls your ear a little bit this way,
Adds interest.
Exactly. It adds
you don't
interest.
know as a listener some
would,
freak, you bunch of freaks.
Yeah, the audiophiles would go, oh, they added another guitar.
Yeah, and I hear it over there. It's leaning left or it's leaning right.
But the average listener is just going to feel like, oh, something happened, you know. And this guitar, that guitar, it's darker. It does its thing. This guitar, it smiles. Like when I play it, I just start to smile because it's brighter. It's not going to be for everything because, again, the Seagull does this mysterious, nice, dark sound. And this kind of brings that, I'm being too artistic and poetic here, but it brings the sunshine and the sparkle. But it still has depth to it. And it's just fun to play. So, yeah,
I was shocked how light it is.
It's very light and very playable, and the oversized headstock is something I've always loved about the Guild look. It's just beautiful, and the way the top is, it's kind of like how Gibsons have that scroll top, but at the same time I'm the fan of the old Martin just square top as well. I think that each guitar has its own characteristics.
But are there certain genres that the Guild will find itself in a lot?
I imagine so. I mean,
is it a folk kind of vibe, or
that's my experience with it. One of my favorite artists of all time, Richie Havens, always played Guild. That was his guitar company for as long as he was out doing it. And I always loved the sound of his guitars. And of course he did the drop alternate tunings and played a lot with his thumb, which is where I picked that up.
Yeah, I've seen you do that before.
Yeah. So I totally stole that from Richie Havens because I saw that and I thought, oh, that's cool. I should try that. In standard tuning, it's more difficult. But I think Guild, I guess you could associate with more of the folk artists. But there are definitely some rock artists that I've seen use Guild as well. But it's just it's a good conversation to have when you're in the studio and saying, okay, this song, especially if we're doing something with a different artist in mind and it's not our music, okay, what does this particular artist's music call for? And then go ahead and pull out different guitars and try them and say, okay, that profile is nice, but not for this song. We need something a little bit more jangly and bright for this song. Or we need something a little bit more dark and that's going to sit in the mix more.
You know what's going to happen, right? When Ben is producing a song, he'll say, you know, it probably should be a brighter sound. And when I'm producing a song, it'll be, you probably need the Seagull.
Right, exactly.
Darker sound.
Right, exactly.
That's why I think that's one of the beautiful things about working with you, Ben, is that no matter what I see it, you say, you disagree with me.
That is not true. We agree an awful lot.
Yes,
but
I know.
The beauty is we see things differently.
From
again,
a different perspective.
We're like these guitars. We're complementary.
We are.
Yes.
What I would like to do sometime, because we both know and love Ryan Gerber, he's a guitar builder.
He's a wonderful guitar builder.
Yeah. I would like to hear his perspective on some of the things that we're talking about, and also from his offerings, which guitars might be a little darker that go on that Seagull side, which ones are Guild. And see, there's probably other markers out. You mentioned Martin and others, Gibsons.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I wonder what the sound signatures of those are and how they fit into the overall.
Right.
Because I would really love, I talk about bringing your song all the time. I would really love to provide this kind of content for people who are making early choices. Maybe they got a learner guitar.
Right.
And what they've learned about it is they don't like it.
Right. That's an important thing to learn.
Yeah, and they want to move on.
Right.
What's my next guitar pick going to be?
Right.
It'd be really cool to be able to give them some tools to make choices that they...
And some live in the room reference that a lot of folks don't get when they're going to shop for a guitar. A lot of folks are left to their own devices. So if we could provide something that you're like, okay, here's this guitar with this profile, here's that guitar with this profile, it's got these kinds of woods, here's the kinds of strings that are on it, and do the old taste test thing, and eventually something's going to hit your ear and you're going to go, that's my guitar, that's what I want. So hopefully we can have those conversations at one of these Bring Your Songs next year.
We'll see. But right now we got to get busy.
Yeah.
Love you all. Talk to you later. This hurts my back. Oh, shit.